Hey everyone, in this video, I wanted to give my thoughts on the Flash movie. I do apologize for the delay in talking about this movie for so long since its release. I watched the movie when it first came out in theaters and held off on reviewing it due to honestly not being sure where I stood on it and how I felt about it. But I finally put my thoughts together and wanted to talk about it, so let's do it. So in this movie, we see Barry time travel back in time to change events so that his mom isn't murdered and his father isn't locked up in prison for the crime even though he was innocent. And in doing so, he doesn't realize he causes the universe to change in so many ways as consequences to the one moment he changed. We see certain people he knew are no longer in his life, the Justice League isn't assembled, Superman was never around, and in this new universe, Michael Keaton is the Batman instead of Ben Affleck. So I want to talk about the things I did like about the movie first. What it did have going for it is the entertaining action it had throughout the movie, with awesome moments, like a cool highway chase with Ben Affleck's Batman on a motorcycle. That was an awesome moment. Another thing that was strong in this film were the scenes where they focused on the deep emotional moments with Barry and his mom and wanting to change things from the way they are. And we see him spending his life trying to prove that his father is innocent from the crime and wants to get him out of jail, but constantly failing due to insufficient evidence. We of course also have the awesome and epic moments with Batman, both of Affleck and Keaton, and see the similarities that they share with Barry and pain they go through by both having lost their parents in some form. The action sequences are great as usual, but what really stood out were the emotional conversations they had with Barry, explaining how, as much as it would be life-changing to go back and change history, the pain we have, the scars, are what makes us who we are. There are also some fun and comedic moments that work well with both versions of Barry and just watching them figure things out. Also, there are some sweet and surprising cameos I don't think anyone saw coming, and I'll definitely talk about that in another video. Now, I want to talk about what I didn't quite enjoy about the film. What took me out from the movie just a little were some strong CGI moments that were very obvious. For example, when we see Barry in the Speed Force. There are moments when it clearly looks exaggerated or fake. Not so much where it ruins the film for you, but it did make me focus on that a little. Also, while I do appreciate the fresh and different approach to it, it just didn't feel the same without the characters we could have seen if they went with the same Flashpoint Paradox story like the comic book or the animated movie. I do like how we got to see General Zod from Man of Steel again. That was cool as it closed the gap and the story with that run of Zack Snyder's universe. Now, it's clear part of the reason they didn't go with the version from the comics is how they are starting fresh with James Gunn's new universe, and we don't have the same actors lined up anymore. So instead of Batman, Flash finding Clark in a government facility, they find his cousin Kara due to not having Henry Cavill anymore. We got an alternate version of Bruce instead of seeing his father, Thomas Wayne, as a darker and more brutal Batman, since that universe, Bruce is the one who dies, and his father lives. It's an intense and great story. We got a fun and entertaining film for sure, but it could have been more of an epic, with fun action and deeper character moments, with longer screen time. But like I said, that's just my opinion, and while I didn't feel like it would be one of my all-time favorites, it's still a fun movie. If you enjoyed it all the way and you feel like it's one of your favorite DC movies, then that's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was enjoyable for me. A movie you'll probably have fun with, and the whole drama with the actor Ezra Miller probably won't affect your opinion on the film, as it didn't affect my viewing of it. Thank you as always to everyone for taking time to check out my video and hear what I have to say about these movies. Being able to talk about my thoughts about these topics is what brings me so much joy. And don't forget that on Brybrecht's channel, it's movie time all the time.